Hello students, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another video by QuickStudy. This video covers the purpose of market research from topic 1.2, spotting a business opportunity. So without further ado, let's get started. In this video, we'll cover the following topics, which includes the purpose of market research, and it has to do with identifying and understanding customer needs, and to identify gaps in the market and how you can reduce risk and inform business decisions. Moreover, it also includes the different methods that are used in market research, such as primary research, which includes surveys, questionnaires, focus groups, and observations. And it also covers secondary research, which includes the internet, market reports, and government reports. We'll also learn a bit about how we can use this data collected from market research in terms of quantitative analysis and qualitative analysis, and it also includes the role of social media to collect market research data and why the reliability of market research data is important for your business. So first of all, we'd have to identify market gaps and understand customer needs. And we've already talked a bit about understanding customer needs in our previous videos. To further add to that a bit, I'd like to state how small service businesses will often get in touch with their customers directly, and it essentially helps them to collect feedback directly, whereas larger businesses, especially manufacturing businesses, do not get in touch with their customers as frequently, and it creates a need for these businesses to carry out different types of market research activities so that customer needs can be better met. And identifying gaps in the market requires you to comprehensively map the market landscape. Well, what I'm trying to tell you is it highlights which customer requirements are met and which customer requirements are yet to be met. And it creates gap in the market. And if you can identify those gaps and act swiftly, it can help you to seize the opportunity before the competition does. If I were to give you an example, well, gluten-free burgers were not a thing even a decade earlier. Today, as more people are more health conscious and they look at the nutrition facts of the food that they consume, now it has created a substantial opportunity. According to the Grocer magazine, the size for gluten-free burgers market is approximated to be around 40 million pounds annually, which shows a substantial gap in the market that you could potentially disrupt. And when you're about to launch a new product into the market, there are risk factors that you need to consider. There are two primary risk factors, one of them being the market rejecting the idea of your new product or service, or another risk could stem from the fact that more demand is needed to justify for the development and launch cost. You see, a method of market research known as quantitative analysis can help you get a more detailed oversight of the whole scenario, and it can even help you mitigate a lot of those risks. And what market research essentially does is that it helps you to avoid costly mistakes. You see, small businesses can't afford to lose out money on product launches without adequate market research activities. So market research can help you provide the data that is necessary to make better business decisions. And it essentially helps businesses avoid these costly mistakes, which is essential for long-term survival and growth. And market research can also help you understand your customers better and understand the dynamic nature of the market. Since we have already discussed market research and its value, now let's look at the different ways in which market research can be conducted. Now to start it off with, let's discuss secondary research. Secondary research involves gathering data that already exists. In other words, it's basically collecting second-hand information. So why do you need secondary research? Many aspiring entrepreneurs believe that their idea has great potential. However, all these assumptions and idea has to be validated with actual facts. And it's important that secondary research provides you with the valuable information that provides you with industry analysis and a good growth potential. Alright students, so since we have already discussed what secondary research is, now you need to know where are you going to find the information for secondary research, right? So publicly available data like forecasts for Easter sales can be accessed through government reports or even through the internet. And this can be a really inexpensive way for you to collect valuable information. Now, sources could also include market reports. If I were to give you an example, say for example, you have seen a newspaper article which shows an increase in sales for Domino's pizza in particular established stores, and that tells you that the market is growing. And if you are in the restaurant industry, that's valuable information for you. Then there's government reports as well, which is a reliable and accessible source of data. Since government will carry out census reports from time to time, say for example, you are a milkshake business owner and the census tells you that there is an increase in population from age 10 to 14-year-olds, and that can be a value for your business. Now let's discuss primary research a bit. So what is primary research? Primary research involves gathering first-hand data from the people who are relevant to your business. When you collect precise insights that are targeted very much for your business, you'll get much better results in comparison to secondary research, since that is second-hand information. And who are the people that you as a business are going to engage with? Well, there are existing customers, people who are already buying the goods or services that your competitors are selling. Then there's potential customers, people who have not bought from the competitors as well as from you. Then there are potential retailers as well. These are distributors where you would want your product or services to be at. Since primary research will provide you with detailed specific information that are tailored to your business needs, it creates more value for you. However, provided that there are numerous benefits to primary research, it can be problematic as well because it takes more time and it can be more expensive as well. If I were to tell you that you need to determine the price for a pizza that you're selling in your restaurant and you're going out to collect data from your target customers, and that might take a lot of time and it might also cost you valuable resources. Now, what are the different methods in which you could collect primary data from? First of all, if you could start with, it would be online surveys. Online surveys are a relatively cheap and easy way for you to get information from your customers. Since it can be used regularly on a monthly basis, it can be of great benefit to you. However, the problem with online surveys is that people who only have a lot of time on their hand will only fill out your online surveys, and that's most likely to be elderly people. If I were to give you an example, you'll often see a pop-up where a business will ask you to rate them or tell them about their services, but you really don't do that, right? And that's because you don't really have a lot of spare time in your hands. Then comes questionnaires. A business could carry out their surveys using different kinds of questions, and that can be really helpful since it contains a mix of both qualitative and quantitative data. But the problem with questionnaires is it usually takes a lot of time to get done with, and not a lot of people has that much time in their hands. Then we could also talk about focus groups. That's another way you could collect primary research data, and it involves gathering a group of people and asking for the answers that you want from them. And it usually involves more in-depth questions. Focus groups are usually asked more of a qualitative type of questions, which are not limited to yes or no answers. They will usually tell you about their experiences with the product and why would they like it and why did they not like it. And it can actually give you valuable insights into a customer's behavioral responses to your product or service, and it can definitely help you with your branding and advertising as well. But it's the same problem with focus groups too, you see, because it's time consuming and expensive at the same time. And sometimes the interviewer will might ask the interviewee particular questions that they might be too embarrassed to admit. Say for example, if the interviewer asks a question like, how much do you spend every month on chocolates? And the interviewee might answer differently. Then comes observation. Observation plays a critical role in retail industries specifically. If there were cameras set up in a retail store or a supermarket, they could look at where customers go first, to which aisle they're going first, and which shelf they look at first. And this is exactly the strategy that large MNCs like Unilever will use to place their products in strategically. They'll place their products in places where people look first. This way, you also know where not to look. And this can really help you determine what is the best way to place your product at a particular store. And the problem with observation is that it can be costly to set up cameras and also survey the entire process and get your results. So whatever data you want to collect using primary research can be collected in two ways. First of all, we are going to talk about qualitative research. Qualitative research is essentially an in-depth exploration of a customer's insight, and it can really help you provide valuable insights that can help you make better decisions. If I were to give you an example, say for example, you are talking with a group of people about their pizza takeaway deliveries, and a common complaint might turn up where they are too much worried about the delivery time. You see, when you figure out information like that, you can tailor your advertising message, which could include we are offering deliveries within 20 minutes or this much amount of minutes. And if we can do that, you can have the pizza for free. I'm pretty sure popular pizza outlets use this as a marketing strategy. Then there is quantitative research. Quantitative research involves collecting answers to a lot of questions usually, but they are very specific and they are often close-ended with a yes or no answer. And it can help you gather factual information such as the percentage of people with specific preferences. An example could include how many people like pineapple toppings on pizza. Hopefully the number is quite low. Social media feedback is emerging as an essential alternative to traditional market research methods, and there are different reasons for this. First of all, if I were to tell you, it's a two-way communication. When you make a post about a particular product or service, you can sort of directly engage with the customers because it's not just you who is communicating with them. They will also probably comment on that post, and then you can instantly reply to them. This allows you to collect customer information in a really inexpensive way and in a much less time as well. Alright, now that you have completed all the necessary research that you needed for your business, what are you going to do with all this information? Well, correct interpretation of your market research data plays a critical role. Whether it's qualitative data or quantitative data, incorrect interpretation of your market research results can lead you to make uninformed or bad decisions, which will cost you time and money in the long run. And the problem with qualitative or quantitative research is that you will always carry out research based on a sample, which is based off of a population, which is your target market. Now, what if your sample size is not an accurate reflection of the target population? In that case, the results may be biased, and that is not good news for your business. So you do need to realize that market research data is not really gospel. The thing is, market research findings can be valuable and can provide you with good insights so that you can make better business decisions. However, a confident business person may want to deviate from the market research findings if they find that their business idea is truly unique and it will only appeal to a very narrow or specific group of consumers. Ultimately, the reliability and relevance of market research data determine its usefulness in making better decisions. And students, with that, we have come towards the end of this video, and to give you a short recap, this is what we have covered in this video so far. It includes the purpose of market research, which has how you can identify customer needs and wants, to how you can make better business decisions. Then we have the methods of market research, which includes primary research and secondary research. And then in the end, we have talked about how you can use this market research data to make better business decisions. And students, I'd like to thank you for watching this video, and if you've liked this video, do subscribe to our channel because we post regularly on different subjects and topics which can help you ace your GCSEs. And also, for more information on our online one-on-one tutoring services, do visit our website at www.quickstudy.uk. Thank you.